in previous videos to this series, I've been mentioning how memorials and public monuments use a series of metrology or measurements to encode a series of esoteric, occult information and knowledge. And the previous ones, it's just to highlight, it's not pure. It's an international thing. For instance, Astana in Kazakhstan is a Muslim Islamic country. Protestant Washington. It's also used in Catholic countries. It's something which transcends religion. And for instance, the Arc de Triomphe, 72 feet wide, but also includes a 48 feet width of the vault. It's same sort of systems used, originates from the ancient world. But now I want to focus on the capital city of Australia, which is Canberra. Most people are aware of the sacred geometry of Washington. Canberra is essentially a carbon copy of Washington, and here we have the Australia-America monument in Canberra, which is 240 feet high, and the Basilica of the National Shrine of the Immaculate Conception in Washington, which is 240 feet wide. The Basilica is also 153 yards long, and there's other metrology hidden in there, but we're just focusing on the 240 feet. This is used in many cities, many countries. Again, it's not a religious along racial lines. It's a global, international thing, and it's one of those hidden in plain sight secrets. 240 feet, 40 fathom, 80 yard, 160 cubits, 32 span. And C 256. Now, for instance, I've only highlighted in the cards I have on this line, I have 16 and 32 and 256 highlighted. 2, 4, 8, 64 and 100. I didn't touch because there's just too much connections there. So I just wanted to focus on 16 and 32. 32 being a very important in metrology. It's actually a conversion point to the number 33, which some people might recognize how important it is amongst certain groups. But the 240 foot high monument in Canberra and the 240 foot wide basilica in Washington also converts to 96 palm, so 240 feet, 96 palm, which on the left hand side we can see how it connects to Bode's law and specifically points to Ceres and to Saturn, so we might make a connection there. But also you can now start to see on what's G192 how these numbers such as 6, 12, 48 are so important to modern metrology and the modern world. Our compass, our clock, it's all connected. Our whole science is based on these systems of measurement. However, the ancients knew it as well, and they encoded it in their texts and in their legends. So now we move across to D288. The 240 foot memorials are 288 inches or 720 hands, specifically connecting to sun and moon and unity measures. So we have a crossover, so it's a sun and moon, but also metrology, also in geometry. For instance, the vesica, which is the basis of universal geometry, beehives, the poles of Saturn. It's one of those fundamentals, and platonic solids, phi. Also, in the Bible, in the descriptions of New Jerusalem, 144,000 Israelites. It's used in the Sumerian and Chaldean, going back to the Epic of Gilgamesh. The Mayans use the same system, and you can also find it in ancient Egypt. It's a global thing. So standard history will say the Mayans are unconnected to the Egyptians. Nonsense, absolute bloody nonsense. The physical evidence is overwhelming. It's simply ignored by the establishment. But the eagle on top of the Australia-American Memorial in itself is 36 feet high. So there's a second layer, and there always is additional layers of info hidden in all these monuments. That's one of the ways you can establish that it's a bona fide phenomenon. It's not just a cherry picking and looking for the numbers that I want to find. They are literally everywhere. And 36 feet, again, 6, 12, 24. So we have Mercury, Venus, Earth and Mars directly connected. Again, this will also connect to time, the number of months in the year, the number of Platonic months in a great year, the geometry, and again, Sumeria and the Bible. And 36 feet also converts to 144 palm, which sort of connects back to the 240 feet memorials I mentioned earlier. But this 36 feet will actually now extend, and instead of just sun and moon and metrology, we will now shortly see how it connects sun, earth, moon, also to stars, and what's called let's call it the Temple of Man, which is represented by the number 1728. But perfect numbers, beautiful numbers in arithmetic, in astronomy, in geometry, and also to music. Going back to ancient times, 36 feet, also 144 palm here, but we'll also go over to the next conversion and we'll see how it also connects to 108 and 432. 108 is, I don't like the term, but it is a sacred number. If you look at, it's a ratio that defines so much of our solar system. But we can also see in Vedic cycles, Vishnu, 108 symbols, the yugas, the number of years defining the yugas. This is Indus, Hindu, Sumerian, biblical, ancient Greek, Platonic knowledge, the fundamentals of geometry and the time and the compass. Music, it's they're hiding. I shouldn't say hiding, because it's in plain sight. It's not hiding. It's if you don't look, you won't find. And if you don't look for something and then you say it doesn't exist, well, you're a fool. You know, how can you deny something if you haven't even taken the time to look for it? But 36 feet converts to 108 and 432. Modern metrology, ancient metrology, definitions of fundamental definitions of time, not arbitrary definitions of time, but also the natural cycles of time. Beautiful numbers that work across all dimensions, first, second and third. Hindus, Jains, Buddhists, ancient Greeks cherished the number 108. Every 108 years, Earth and Mars will align at perigee. This is nature speaking. This is not me trying to interpret some sort of religious agenda. 36 feet. It's in London, She Guardian. It's in Emptyful, the sculpture in Winnipeg. Winnipeg is esoteric central of Canada. And 36 feet high aquahelix sculpture in Sydney. Sydney, you might think it's a new city and it's like a new world. Sydney is overloaded with ancient references. Another example being the obelisk in Prince Alfred Square in Parramatta, 36 feet high and 32 feet wide. Convert 32 feet again into these basic units and you'll see how there's again a second layer which will reconnect to sun, earth, moon, stars, metrology, mythology, weights and measures. So you can use this information and start applying it to your own city by examining the major public buildings, major public memorials, churches, cathedrals, temples, especially for esoteric occult groups, Freemasons, Oddfellows and so forth. All of them have multiple levels of this information encoded, and because it's on multiple levels, the chances of mere coincidence or of standard building standards of each region is removed. This is it's a hidden system. It's quite I think it's quite beautiful. It encodes so much knowledge. So if you're musically inclined, you'll also learn astronomy. If you're astronomically inclined, you'll learn arithmetic, and if you're into arithmetic, you're going to have to learn your geometry. And so whether you like it or not, you're going to learn all the various disciplines of what's called the 7 liberal arts, especially the 4 higher of the liberal arts. And it really is something that can be measured and tested. This is not a random sort of theory and cherry picking the buildings that I want. It's in place, it's in the street widths, in parks, memorials, it's everywhere. So if you're dubious, have a look at your local town planning, your local public memorials and public buildings, test it against this, and you'll see that it's one of those things that's in plain sight. Hope you enjoyed. Have a good one.